Hello, my name is Jay Labov. I'm currently retired for the last couple of years from my position at the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine in Washington, D.C., where I was Senior Advisor for Education and Communication. And my role was to direct studies of the academies, to help produce reports, and to work with other organizations to try to coordinate efforts to improve the teaching of STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I first became interested in biology when I was about 13 years old, when somebody gave me a present for my birthday, which was a book about ocean exploration by a very important explorer at the time by the name of Jacques Cousteau. Many people may not know who he is at this point, but his adventures and the kinds of things that he was able to tell us and to communicate to people who didn't have a scientific background was so interesting to me that I decided that I really needed to think about biology more. Then in high school, I took another course with a biology teacher who I found so interesting that I said, this is my path. This is what I really love. I love to learn about living things and how things work and how life works and trying to understand what it is. So I enrolled as a biology major when I was in college. This was the University of Miami in Florida, which allowed us to get out into the Everglades, to go to many places to really learn how life works, not just in a test tube, but in the real world. From there, I went to graduate school, finally got in. I was rejected from some of the best places in the country, but I was finally admitted to the University of Rhode Island. And I went there thinking that I wanted to be a marine biologist. And once I got there, found out the person I wanted to work with, who was working with humpback whales, wasn't taking any students. So I found a place in the Department of Zoology and began doing work with mice and some of the physiology and behavior of reproduction. That led to my master's degree and then to my PhD in those areas. From there, I was interviewed at Colby College and they invited me to become an assistant professor there. I thought I would stay maybe for 2 or 3 years and ended up 18 years later, progressing through the ranks until I found this other opportunity at the National Academy of Sciences. It began to shift my interests from biological research and just teaching strictly biology to more of the educational and policy aspects of science. And I think that's one of the important messages for students to understand, that being adept in biology and in other areas of science will allow you to go into many, many different kinds of things. You don't need to have necessarily a linear path to academia. And what I realize is that teaching is my passion. And even now that I've been retired, I've been going to try to give back by going and volunteering in a local elementary school to work with teachers and students to help them understand, how wonderful and important science is, because it's really important for people of all ages to understand these kinds of concepts.